I can still taste the bitterness of that evening. Not from the cuisine. No, the food was unappetizing like every supper in that dwelling, but from the pronouncements my parents delivered between mouthfuls of rice. Your favored sibling needs funds for her schooling. My mother stated, her gaze piercing. My father never looked up as he added, therefore, if you, who are deemed inconsequential, cannot afford the rental payment, you must depart. They uttered it as casually as dispensing the salt of custom, a sentence rehearsed. My sister Eliza smirked, lowering her head just enough to conceal it. She did not need to speak. She never did. I didn't resist. I didn't plead. I consumed their rejection like a poisonous draft and exited that place. My Uncle Arthur was awaiting me in his vintage sedan at the roadside. He had always been present for me in ways my parents never were. I matured, believing familial ties represented fidelity. That was my gravest error. My sister Eliza was the treasure, the wonder, the one incapable of wrongdoing. Every award she acquired was exhibited. Every error I committed was amplified. When I failed, I was indolent. When she failed, she was fatigued. When I succeeded, it was chance. When she succeeded, it was fate. And I endured this for a long time until the night they evicted me. Uncle Arthur opened his vehicle door, and for the first time, I felt the atmosphere of liberty. He didn't guarantee affluence or miracles, but he provided something no one else had. Conviction? Years elapsed. I toiled under his tutelage, assimilated, adapted. My uncle was not merely kin. He was a man who grasped influence, and he instructed me how to wield it without raising my voice. By 31, I had become his key associate. By 41, his successor. We constructed a vast enterprise, impeccable on the surface, formidable beneath. Then 20 years later, the telephone rang. It was my mother. Her voice faltered in a manner I had never witnessed before. Kindly speak to your uncle, your sister. She committed blunders, liabilities. They are pursuing the property. Blunders, that term again. The same word they used when she pilfered from me as a child. When she lied and I suffered the reprimand, only now her blunders were not minor. They amounted to millions in obligations. Concealed in deception and failed. Speculations. They did not contact me out of affection. They contacted me because I was the only available remedy. I did not respond immediately. I allowed silence to expand within me. I was not enraged. I was composed, calculated. All the nights of being disregarded, dismissed, supplanted, they were no longer injuries. They were honed weapons. I posed one inquiry. Why should I? Her silence was more resonant than her supplication. I informed my uncle of everything. He smiled. The kind of smile that conceals a They incinerated the connection, he observed. But you possess the ignition. So I did not hurry. Vengeance is never boisterous. It is methodical. I procured their obligations discreetly, gradually through intermediaries, until every lender they dreaded answered to me. I granted them just enough room to hope, then tightened the restriction. They sold jewelry, then real estate, then their vehicle. Still, the figures never diminished. Finally, they called again. This time my father spoke. His voice was rough, weaker than I recalled. Please, son, we will forfeit the house. Son, the term nearly provoked my laughter. I consented to meet them not at their residence, but at mine. They entered my private quarters. Polished flooring, glass enclosures, the city vista. They appeared insignificant against the grandeur. My sister Eliza was also present. Her assurance had faded. No expensive attire now, just despair clothed in simple fabric. I placed the debt documents on the table. Their eyes enlarged as they recognized the signatures. It was you, my sister whispered. I reclined, observing them disintegrate. Every credit arrangement, every creditor, every late charge, all mine. Their faces crumpled simultaneously. Fear, recognition, remorse. I had awaited my entire life to witness it. My mother extended her hand, trembling. We erred concerning everything. Please forgive us, help us. I scrutinized her countenance. The same face that told me I was without merit. The same mouth that banished me over dinner. Forgive you, I said gently. No, but I will present you with an alternative. They leaned forward desperately. You may retain the property if you transfer the title to me, or you may preserve your self-respect and reside on the pavement. Their silence was oppressive. My father's jaw quivered. My sister broke first, weeping, grasping the writing instrument. One by one, they affixed their names. The domicile that was once their haven now belonged to the child they had cast away. When they departed my office, documents signed, self-esteem shattered. I experienced no remorse, only clarity. Vengeance is not flame. It is not disorder. It is frost. Cold, intentional, unhurried. It is the tranquility following a tempest. When the world observes who endured and who perished, they wanted me gone, deemed worthless. But I became everything they feared essential, and as I stood by the pane watching them vanish into the night, I murmured to myself, this was never about the house. It was about compelling them to seek entry to the door they once slammed in my face, and I didn't merely open it, I owned it.